Okay, so there's this one SpongeBob episode that accidentally exposed the most disturbing conspiracy in Bikini Bottom, and somehow nobody's talking about it. I'm talking about Season 6, Truth or Square, where we discover Mr. Krabs has been secretly filming everyone for years. And I mean everyone.
Oh, my house is on TV.
All of our houses are on TV.
But here's what's absolutely insane about this whole thing. If Mr. Krabs was really just protecting his money, like everyone assumes, wouldn't he have those 10 cameras pointed directly at his safe? Instead, they're watching his neighbors sleep, eat, and live their entire lives. So I started asking myself the obvious question, what the hell is he actually doing with all this footage? And that's when I fell down a rabbit hole that completely broke my understanding of this show. Because this isn't just about a greedy crab being nosy. This is about something so much darker that it connects to real-world disasters, government cover-ups, and scientific exploitation. Truth or Square starts innocent enough. Everyone's preparing for the Krusty Krab's 117th anniversary. SpongeBob's doing his usual over-the-top decorating thing. And then, boom, they all get trapped in the freezer. While crawling through the air ducts trying to escape, they discover Mr. Krabs' secret surveillance room. Just casually stumble across it like it's no big deal. The show treats this like a throwaway gag. Oh look, Mr. Krabs has cameras everywhere. How quirky. But think about what this actually means. This crab has been systematically monitoring an entire community without their knowledge or consent. That's not quirky. That's just messed up. And the fact they dropped that on us after we've already seen crabs treat everyone like walking wallets? Yeah, it's not some wild conspiracy. It fits. It's exactly the kind of thing he'd do. Here's where this gets really dark. You've probably heard the theory that Bikini Bottom exists because of nuclear testing at Bikini Atoll, right? The Marshall Islands, 1946 to 1958, where the US government turned an entire ecosystem into a radioactive wasteland. If that's true, and honestly, the evidence is pretty compelling, then every single day in Bikini Bottom is like a live scientific experiment. These characters aren't just cartoon fish. They're mutated survivors of a nuclear disaster, living with human-level intelligence because of radiation exposure. Now imagine you're a government scientist studying the long-term effects of nuclear fallout on marine life. Where would you get your data? How would you monitor an entire community of test subjects without them knowing? You'd need someone on the inside, someone already motivated by money, someone who wouldn't ask too many questions about where those monthly payments are coming from, someone like Eugene Krabs. And here's where Sandy fits into this whole nightmare. She's literally the only character who needs protective gear to survive underwater. She's got advanced technology that shouldn't exist in an underwater society, and she's suspiciously interested in studying the behavior of everyone around her. In the episode The Fishbowl, Sandy gets obsessed with this behavioral psychology book and decides to study SpongeBob and Patrick like lab rats. First, she tries observing them directly, but they get uncomfortable and act weird. So what does she do? She plants hidden microphones and cameras in their house without their knowledge. She's literally doing the exact same thing as Mr. Krabs, just more openly. And when she gets caught, her excuse is that she wanted to observe them acting naturally.
I just wanted to observe you acting naturally, so I hid microphones and cameras around your house.
Cameras?
But the most damning evidence comes from Season 10's Feral Friends. There's this green moon that turns everyone in Bikini Bottom into wild animals. Sandy's the only one unaffected, and when Squidward demands an explanation, she pulls out her smartwatch and calls someone, not just anyone, the literal narrator of the show, a scuba diver who's been monitoring.
Good, Frenchie. You see, there's this.
Don't say another word. I have been monitoring the behavior of the green moon all day.
This diver, he's basically the stand-in for the real world, our world. He's been watching everything going down in Bikini Bottom the whole time. And the craziest part? Sandy has direct contact with him. She's been linked to the surface from the start. That's not a coincidence. That's confirmation that there's an active surveillance operation being run from the surface, and Sandy is the primary contact. Now let's talk about why Mr. Krabs is the perfect person to run this operation. This is a crab who's willing to exploit anyone and everyone for profit. In Squirrel Jokes, he encourages SpongeBob to make racist jokes about Sandy because it brings in customers. He doesn't care that it's harmful, he just wants money.
Why does it take take more than one squirrel to change a light bulb.
Why?
Because they're so darn stupid.
In Jellyfish Hunter, he turned SpongeBob's friendship with jellyfish into an industrial harvesting operation that nearly destroys the entire jellyfish population.
I've got to tell someone about this!
Again, he doesn't care about the environmental damage. Money is all that matters. In Born Again Krabs, he tries to serve a rotten, moldy Krabby Patty rather than throw it away and lose 50 cents. This is a character who's already proven he'll sacrifice anyone's well-being for profit. So when mysterious government agents show up offering him serious money to keep tabs on his neighbors, of course he's gonna say yes. And think about the episode The Krusty Sponge. Mr. Krabs literally exploits SpongeBob's popularity to the point where he's serving spoiled food to customers. If he's willing to poison people for pocket change, what wouldn't he do for real money? Remember Hooky? Mr. Krabs warned SpongeBob and Patrick about the dangers of fishing hooks with genuine terror. Everyone assumes he's just being protective, but what if there's another motive? If Mr. Krabs is feeding surveillance data to surface dwellers, the last thing he wants is for SpongeBob or Patrick to get caught by fishermen. Not because he cares about their safety, but because they might accidentally expose the whole operation. Those hooks represent contact with the outside world. If SpongeBob gets pulled up to the surface and starts talking to fishermen about life in Bikini Bottom, he might mention something that connects back to Mr. Krabs. The warning is about operational security. So here's what I think is really happening. Mr. Krabs isn't just running a restaurant. He's running a data collection operation disguised as a restaurant. Every customer interaction, every conversation gets recorded and transmitted to surface researchers studying the effects of nuclear radiation on marine life. The Krusty Krab is the perfect cover because it puts him at the center of the community's social life. And Sandy? She's his handler. The science equipment, the advanced technology, the suspicious behavioral experiments. She's not just a marine biologist, she's a government scientist monitoring the test subjects. Think about it. She shows up in Bikini Bottom with no explanation. She has technology that shouldn't exist underwater. She's constantly studying everyone's behavior, and she has direct communication with surface dwellers. That's not a coincidence. That's a cover identity. The most disturbing part isn't just that they're being watched. It's that they're being manipulated. Mr. Krabs doesn't just collect data, he influences behavior to create more interesting data points. Every time he creates drama at the Krusty Krab, every time he manipulates SpongeBob into some ridiculous scheme, every time he stirs up conflict in the community, that's all potential research data on how radiated marine life responds to stress, social pressure, and emotional manipulation. He's not just watching them, he's experimenting on them. And here's the most twisted part of this whole thing. They're hiding this conspiracy in a children's cartoon. Nobody takes SpongeBob seriously enough to analyze it for real-world implications. It's the perfect cover. Who's gonna believe that a cartoon about a talking sponge contains evidence of government surveillance and nuclear cover-ups? It sounds insane, which is exactly why it works. They can put all of this evidence right in front of us. The surveillance room, Sandy's suspicious technology, the narrator's admission of monitoring, and we'll just laugh it off as cartoon logic. But once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Mr. Krabs isn't just greedy, he's complicit in the systematic exploitation of an entire community of nuclear disaster survivors. So here's what I want to know. If this theory is true, how many other animated shows are hiding similar operations? How many cartoon communities are actually surveillance states disguised as entertainment? Mr. Krabs didn't just build a restaurant empire, he built a surveillance network that's been operating in plain sight for over 2 decades. And we've been laughing along while he collects data on an entire community of nuclear disaster survivors. That's not just good business, that's evil genius. The real question isn't whether Mr. Krabs is spying on Bikini Bottom. The real question is, who's he reporting to, and what are they planning to do with all that data? Because something tells me we're not going to like the answer.